Hey there everyone, it's Eli and this is the ColorMeQueerCollab channel. And for this week's topic is how to find pride in being queer. So I'll start off by explaining what I did and the lessons I learned from it. When I first came out I first came out as a bisexual, but that wasn't too long lasting. But when I came out as a lesbian, I didn't go about it in the best way. So I thought that I had to tell everyone that I was a lesbian. So I did. I didn't think about who would support me or who has strong views that will not support me. So I had a lot of, I got a lot of crap for that because I did tell a few people that were very against it, and very judgmental and called me names because of it, or said that I was like bad because of it. So I guess what I've been working on doing in order to find pride in being queer is I if I want to come out to someone, or if I want to talk to someone about gender or sexual orientation, I talk to someone that I know is supportive. And when I come out to people, I don't I no longer come out to people just to come out. I come out to people after I think about it a lot, and it's more of a thought. I think it through more. Whereas before it was more of a like impulsive thing. And I think that definitely makes a difference because especially when you're first starting to come out, if you tell everyone, you're bound to get bad reactions. I hate to say it, but it's true. But if you start off with people you know will be supportive, then you'll have that wall of support built around you, and then only after you have that wall of support do you need to, or you can tell people who you don't know will be supportive, but you'll have that support system up already. So I guess for me, or for advice I would give, the first thing I think to be able to find pride in being queer is find a support system. Doesn't matter who it is, friends, family, teachers, classmates, whomever it is, but just try and find people that you're pretty sure are going to be okay with it. Of course, you never know how someone's going to react, but I think once you get even just one supportive person, it's a lot easier than doing it on your own. So that's what I would suggest, is to find that support system. I'm not going to say it's easy because it's not. And for me personally, I sort of have a bad support system, uh, just because it keeps breaking down and I have to rebuild it with all new people. So that's what I've been going through. But let's see. I guess other ways to find pride in being queer, I think that confidence helps a lot. Like, if you walk around and let's say you're experimenting with gender and you're walking around and you're if you're okay, take me for example. I am out as a lesbian, but I don't know that I don't really identify as a lesbian. I more identify as someone who's trans or gender queer. So what I've learned is if I'm going to dress less femininely, and I use quotation marks because I think that feminine and masculine are kind of gender binary enhancing words. But anyway, I found that when I want to wear something that's not supporting my original sex, I find that if I'm confident about it, if I hold my head up high, I look people in the eye, they won't say anything. They won't give you crap about it. But if you look down and act like you think you're below them, then they'll believe that you're more vulnerable because of it. And I think the main thing is, even if you don't necessarily always feel comfortable or confident, if you just try and make it look like confidence, and I know that's a lot easier said than done. It's only been about a month that I've started to feel confident, or maybe a little bit more. But before that, and I've been out for a few years now, before that, when people would talk about it, I look down at my shoes and, do the nervous giggle and like kick my shoes in the dirt, whatever. The classic sign of being nervous and not knowing what to say. Um, and I think that that produces more bad reactions. But when I'm more confident, and I if I make it seem like I'm comfortable, it's more likely that the other person will be more comfortable as well. Sometimes I won't even necessarily come out to them. I'll be like, "Oh yeah, such and such about my ex-girlfriend." And if I just say that confidently in the middle of a conversation, it's gonna go a lot better than if I like look down. I'm like, "Guys, I think I'm a lesbian," or whatever. So, again, to review, my first advice is find a support system. Second advice, try to appear confident or be confident. Another thing that I think is important, I guess it differs for everyone, but um, going into a library or bookstore or um, like a video store or like Netflix or whatever. Um, and even if you can't get it because, let's say, you live with your parents and then they'll know if you got something that's like queer related. But if even just looking at the shelves, I know where I live, they actually have certain shelves and it says gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender. Um, and just seeing the amount of books, there's so many there, and it made me feel less alone. Going along with that, I would say either to read books, watch movies, um, research the internet, use YouTube as a good resource. I never thought that I would be vlogging, um, but I did because I wanted to start finding my own voice within the queer community, which I've never had before. I was always quiet about it, and now I can say I'm a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more confident. Um, so yeah, my again to summarize, my main 3 points are build a support system, appear or be confident. Usually appearing confident comes before being confident. Number 3, look up different resources, such as books, movies, internet, anything like that. And I'm just gonna say, I know it's hard. I'm not gonna say it's not. I know it's hard to find pride in being queer, especially if you're coming out for the first time, or if you've gotten bad responses in the past. But there's a little saying by Dr. Seuss that I'm going to use, and I try and think about it every time I wonder about, like, should I really be saying this? Maybe I'm wrong for coming out. And the quote goes like this: those who don't matter mind, and those who matter don't mind. So pretty much, the people that you want in your life aren't gonna mind. If someone gives you a lot of crap for coming out, or just appearing queer, or like if they think you're queer, chances are they're not a good friend to have. Um, I I know what it's like to not have friends. I have not had many friends, but I think having one fake friend isn't any better than not having friends. And I think it's just really hurtful if you put yourself in a situation where you're not validated. Because honestly, you should be validated. I mean, if you're queer, that's just as, it should be just as accepted as, like, okay, I'm wearing a yellow shirt today. Oh, I'm queer. Whatever. But I know it's not like that, but I think that's how it should be. So I'm just gonna say, if someone is bad about it, you don't, yeah, they might come around, but you don't have to wait for them. I think that they're the ones that have to catch up to you, because it's not your fault that they don't get it. I think that is different though for families, because it, they say that, especially for parents of queer people, the parents of queer individuals, um, they they experience their own sort of coming out in a way, after their child comes out. The parents go through similar steps, I've heard, such as like denial, acceptance, whatever. They're not going to accept, they might accept it from the beginning, but chances are you might not have accepted it from the beginning either. So I would say give them a chance, but for friends, if they don't accept you right away, I'm not sure they're worth keeping around, honestly. Alright, so sorry for making such a long video. Bye!